Hello. Oh,
Hello.
there she is.
It's me.
It's her. We're back for Pokemons, and I'm going to suffer tonight.
We're still hunting Lugia.
We're still hunting Lugia.
I will see how long your will lasts.
So this isn't like me being a bitch or anything, but I've already determined that I'm gonna call it around 10 tonight.
That's fair.
Not because I don't want to go longer, but I'm making myself available to a friend of mine who may need to call me and help them out with something later.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries.
Thank you for subscribing, Jack. It's been 6 months. It's good to have you here. Bread Cult is better for having you in it.
Half a year of bread. Munch.
We've got... Okay, that's what sub-length is now. It's just like, we've got a 6-month supply of bread here with Jack.
Yeah.
It's perfect. The lore expands. Much like dough does. It's all coming together.
God.
Alright, so... Yeah, I guess the last stream we did was the Destiny one.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's still kind of a weird blur of
There was so much that night. It was great though. So I'm actually seeing a lot of people that weren't fans of Lightfall.
I've seen a lot of people who didn't care that much for the story, that were like, nobody explains what the Veil is, and it kind of feels like we run in circles until the end.
Yeah,
which I think is a valid critique.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself thoroughly, but those are both things that are true.
Yeah. So I think, so the thing for me is, I don't know if you've seen this this observation, but when it was pointed out to me, it made sense. This entire expansion was story-wise filler. In that the opening and the end cutscene, if you cut them together, it feels like the opening cutscene of a final expansion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was the only thing that prevented the Witness from doing what it was going to do was that entire storyline on Neomuna. If they had cut out the MacGuffin that we had to go for and just gone straight from like him showing up to him entering the Traveler, that would have been a full and complete like opening to a story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I think about it, the more I think that that is genuinely what happened, is that Bungie felt like they needed more time for the final shape, which was meant to be the big end expansion to Destiny, or at least to the Light and Dark saga. And they needed to fill time.
Yeah.
Because originally, when they announced Beyond Light, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall all on the same day. And Lightfall seemed like it was going to have a much darker tone to it, based on like the image that they showed when they were announcing it.
Yeah.
And then later they announced the final shape, and Lightfall's tone changed drastically.
Yeah, you're right.
So I get the feeling it's very similar to the Rise of Iron situation with Destiny 1, where I feel like they were planning to have Destiny 2 come out a year earlier than it did, but they needed more time to make it, and so the Rise of Iron DLC, while it wasn't originally planned as a big thing they were going to do, it was a good way to like make an expansion that wasn't as intensive and sate the player base's need for more content for a year while they fleshed out the game more.
Yeah. I've also seen some people talking about how like Strand seems thematically like it was definitely meant for Witch Queen.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% on board with the Strand was supposed to be with Witch Queen but got delayed.
Yeah. To that I just say like I understand, but like if they had tried to cram too much into one, the Witch Queen might not have been as good as it was.
Yeah, I think the extra time that they've probably taken to polish the subclass, it feels really good to play.
Yeah, and I think at least from the little that I know from a long time of playing video games, is anything heavily mobility oriented, you need a bit to make sure that it doesn't feel jank as hell.
Yeah.
And I will say one thing about Strand is it does not feel jank as hell.
And
At least to me.
the other thing is, as cool as it would have been to get all of that with the Witch Queen and have it thematically make sense, because a lot of the powers you unlock in Witch Queen, like the deep sight and stuff, is this like psychic seeing things that weren't previously there. I feel like a lot of the like using deep sight to show platforms that you jump on would be replaced by like using deep sight to reveal grapple points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or just having the grapple available to you and not needing the deep sight whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the fact that Strand got delayed meant that they needed something to fill out that space, and they reworked all 3 of the light subclasses to fit the system that they were doing with the aspects and the fragments and everything, and made them so much more customizable, which was a huge improvement. How do crouton? It's exclamation point crouton with an S at the end. It's got to be plural croutons. Just to answer that question for y'all. There's some good croutons.
Munch.
You could have put that on a really big salad, or just eat them on their own.
I do just like sometimes get a bag of them and just eat them like chips.
Right?
It's bread chips.
We did a dude, bread chips. We did that. My sister and I get like the HelloFresh boxes from time to time, just because they like it's a good way to get food, and a lot of recipes that we've really liked that we make a lot have come from them.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was one that came with like a little ciabatta loaf and instructions on basically how to turn it into your own homemade croutons.
Yo!
And holy shit, best croutons I've ever had.
Oh my god.
They were like chef's kiss.
I want.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Retail. Yeah. Why am I not able to say words today? Retail plate. Not entirely sure about the
one
second
of those.
one. Yeah. Retail. Finish your own name, please, because I can't. Yeah, good to have you here. Welcome to the Bread Cult. We are slowly but surely gonna get this Luigi. This is...
I sure hope we do.
This is our 4th session going for it, right? Counting the end of the one stream where we came to him.
I think so.
All right. It's been a lot, but we're going to get him or die trying. And by that I mean, yes, I will die on stream. I'm gonna make a spectacle of it.
I see.
Probably do like a sick backflip or something.
I'm imagining like one of those like really weird like ragdoll out of nowhere deaths, but like the ragdoll physics takes you into a backflip.
It's gonna be perfect.
God. I have been trying to figure out my stream schedule for this week, and just like I feel like my brain is in a blender these days.
Honestly, I get that.
I cannot string 2 thoughts together.
It's I don't know, it's just been weird for me since the Destiny one. This is actually my first stream since the Destiny one, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it has. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I've been still streaming, but like I feel like I've been getting kind of, and I mean that's partly because like a lot of stuff is happening around the Loon House, so I am like much more tired than average on the daily now.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm like thinking about how I want to structure my week. I know I want to do. There's new Guild Wars stuff out that I wanted to do with Nedge. I might just make it like a wimpy week and do just Tuesday and Friday.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, Honor, yes, that stream was hella fun. I mean, 10 hours of Destiny with good teammates.
Oh, it was so much fun. Finally getting that last boss too.
Like it felt so good.
Yeah.
It was a long stream, but it was so awesome to sit down and do like the Legend campaign the whole way through. I'm trying to think of just some of the things that happened there. I'm still trying to figure out how Honor died that one time.
Yeah, the mystery death while we were talking.
Yeah, while I was enjoying my burger. Oh yeah, was it Honor? Is it the sitting under the staircase? Because that's the one that I've heard about.
I'm thinking about the multiple times that I drove my sparrow off of the edge of that building directly to my death.
You're being a lore accurate guardian.
I've never been a safe driver. But apparently in game for the opposite reason as in real life. I have too much caution when I normally drive, and I cry at the slightest provocation.
Oh.
But apparently, when there are no consequences, the opposite, just adopted workout.
Yo, thank you for the follow, adopted workout. We are now 4 followers away from the good ending of Buddy Sim 1984.
Hell yeah.
Had access to the Tangle Bull grenades that never went on cooldown, so the tormentors were always suspended. Nice.
Oh shit.
Yo, Honor with the Bezos bucks. Thank you.
Yeah.
You are actively making Jeff Bezos poorer by doing this, and that's what I appreciate the most out of this. For that, Honor, you are my hero.
God, I'm trying to remember who does it. I think it's Sleepy. There's another streamer I watch who, whenever somebody subscribes with Prime, the notification that pops up in chat is blank subscribed with their mom's Twitch Prime.
I love that. Oh.
He will appear someday.
One of these days he will come home. Until then, we'll keep bothering all of his thousands of brothers.
We're going door to door.
Yeah, like we have gone to, like, we're at the Whirl Islands, and it's like the Thousand Islands in that there's 1,000 of them.
The bread cult's Jehovah Witness arc.
Yep. Okay, actually, hold on. Not building off the Jehovah Witness thing. Building off of the Thousand Islands thing. Hold up.
Go on.
Have you heard? This is, I don't know why this specifically reminded me of this, but
yeah.
Have you heard of the Canadian Rhinoceros Party, like political party?
No. What the fuck?
Okay. We're gonna go on a little detour while I talk about this. I just need to quickly pull up a list here. So this was a political party that ran as pretty much a joke. But
was it like the Raving Lunatics Party in England?
Possibly. I'm not familiar with them.
Hang on.
So they've run for a number of years, but they've got a lot of interesting platforms and policies that would be interesting to see brought forward. So, for example, they wanted to seat the Queen of Canada in Buckingham, Quebec. Rather than awarding money as lottery prizes, the winners could be appointed to the Senate. Building one nuclear power plant per household, including monthly distributions of lead underwear to Canadians. Indoor lighting would be provided by radioactive citizens.
Holy shit.
The Rhinoceros Party pledged to eliminate small businesses and replace them with very small businesses, each having less than one employee. They wanted to repeal the law of gravity. Provide higher education by building taller schools. Canada already has 2 official languages, English and French. They wanted to introduce a third, illiteracy.
Me.
Tear down the Rocky Mountains so that Albertans can see the Pacific sunset. They wanted to... Where's the one that specifically reminded me of this? They wanted to count the 1,000 islands to make sure the Americans haven't stolen any. End crime by abolishing all laws.
I mean, I guess.
Put the national debt on a visa.
Holy shit. Oh, I got the name wrong. I'm sorry. It's not the Raving Lunatics Party. I'm sorry. The Monster Raving Loony Party in the UK.
All right. Important distinction.
I need you to know this is very much a similar vibe. I just looked it up, and one of the things in the quote unquote manifesto is 26 million tons of waste plastic bottles are discarded every year in the UK, of which only 45% are recycled. The Looney Party has the answer. Stop making them. Before you ask, we found an alternative. It's called glass.
I love it.
We'll reduce inflation by giving everyone free pins. Who will reduce hospital waiting lists by using a smaller font.
I'm a fan of this one. Amending Canada's Freedom of Information Act. Nothing is free anymore. Canadians should have to pay for their information. Selling the Senate of Canada at an antique auction in California. Oh, here's one of my personal favorites. Adopting the British system of driving on the left. This was to be gradually phased in over 5 years, with large trucks and tractors first, then buses, eventually to small cars, and then bicycles and wheelchairs last.
Holy shit.
That is so perfectly deranged, but it sounds like something that the government might do.
Yeah. Oh god. Also, did I hear a follow noise?
We got one, but it was somebody who also immediately tried to promote some shady site to get me followers.
Gotcha. Never mind. Might be.
But hey, they're contributing to numbers, so we're now 3 followers away from the good ending of Buddy Sue. Thank you for the help, nameless bastard.
Anything that can get me closer to seeing my internal suffering. my best friend.
Let's see if there's anything else that they had. Oh, the Rhinoceros Party wanted to ban guns and butter since both can kill. Donate a free rhinoceros to every aspiring artist in Canada.
I assume this is what the rhinoceros was like. The name is founded on.
Probably.
Because it's very fucking specific.
Yeah, I mean they might have come up with this policy after the name.
Oh, that's true.
They wanted to change Canada's currency to bubblegum so it could be inflated or deflated at will.
No one ever pays me in gum.
Oh, declaring war on Belgium because a Belgian cartoon character, Tintin, killed a rhinoceros in one of the cartoons. Um, they then offered to call off the proposed Belgium-Canada war if Belgium delivered a case of mussels and a case of Belgian beer to Rhinoceros headquarters in Montreal, which the Belgian embassy in Ottawa did in fact do, averting war.
Holy shit! That is incredible.
So I also specifically like this because they're such a joke party, but they foresaw how stupid people are. Because they've also declared that, should they ever somehow actually win an election, they will immediately dissolve and force a second election. Direct quote, "We rhinos think that elections are so much fun, we want to hold them all the time."
Oh my god.
They also declared a complete victory after one election, claiming that all candidates were rhinoceroses whether they knew or acknowledged it, due to them all being thick-skinned, short-sighted, mean-tempered, etc.
Holy shit! I may have found my political party of choice.
Yep. Not to get too political, but I think we're all rhinoceroses here.
I'm gonna add quote. Hang on.
No, I think we need more of this shit. They've got they once in the 2019 election they almost hit 10,000 votes. Thank you, Loon. My quote list gets more absurd by the day.
My goal is to continue adding until like it's truly no one knows what they're gonna roll when they quote it.
It's gonna be like a mysterious eldritch horror, the list of all the things I've said.
You truly could get anything. It's gonna be a beautiful scrapbook of chaos.
Like it's gonna be a political statement, or Shoryukening a Mecha Cerberus, or
Mario
bending your own spine like a Slinky. Yeah, that was the next one I was gonna draw. And then eventually we're just gonna have like weird hodgepodges of things, like raw dogging your own spine. Which I don't even want to know how that would work.
I don't.
Nope, we're not thinking about it any further than this. We're moving on.
I mean, you don't have to. You have the liberty to do whatever you please with your brain.
Man, speaking of
I will do what I will with mine.
Speaking of segues to other topics, I finished playing Halo Infinite with my friend Trent lately.
Where did that go?
It was good. It was good. It's another case of, I feel, weaker story but really good gameplay.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I know Halo can do really good stories. They just haven't in a while.
Bungle's just been giving the Raiders a break, you know?
Well, I mean, the last Halo games that Bungie made were in my opinion the really good ones.
Oh, okay.
343 has had a weird track record where each game has like an aspect of it that's really good and an aspect of it that's really bad. Like Halo 4's story was pretty decent, multiplayer was rough. Halo 5 was basically the opposite situation. And now Halo Infinite is really good gameplay, story is kind of rough, and just the whole release of the game as a whole was very rocky.
That's fair.
Luigi, where are you?
I just keep looking at his huge wing hands.
He do have massive hands.
Yowie hands, bird.
He could cradle me very gently in those, I think.
He could. I'm pretty sure he's like large enough to like lift your whole body in one hand.
Yeah. I'd be like a little teddy bear.
Very, 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 very little spoon.
Yeah, what is the size comparison of Lugia to like an average human?
I think at one point I sent you like I don't know if anime is accurate, but I sent you a picture of like Ash riding on his back.
Okay. Yeah, he big. He big. All right. He's a big.
Lorg.
He's a
and
big
Chorg.
boy. Lorgan and Chorg.
Yep.
One of these days, he's going to come home, and I'm going to not scream, but maybe go, ah.
one A. Ah.
Lowercase. Ah.
Ah.
It's just like, there needs to be some acknowledgement of it, but I'm civilized, you know?
Yeah.
Not an animal. Also, shoot, what day is it coming? Because I have to just double check something here real quick. What even are release dates? Okay. Huh. Yeah, all right. So due to my own self-imposed time limits, I have to finish God of War the 2018 one either tomorrow or next Tuesday. Because the Tuesday after that, we're starting Cereza and the Lost Demon.
Oh.
I had to double check what day it was coming out. Technically, it comes out the Friday before that. It's on the 17th, but I'll probably end up playing it on that Tuesday. I'm still so surprised that that game is coming out so quickly after Bayo 3.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that pre-ordered for a little bit and basically waiting to download it onto my Switch.
I'm hype.
It's gonna be so fucking great. And then, I guess once we're done with that, we're just rocking straight back into God of War.
At that point, maybe I will catch up to you. Who knows? I don't know how long Bayo Origins is.
I don't think anybody does yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Man, there's a lot of games that I'm excited for that I gotta be ready to play. Like I have to do that Breath of the Wild playthrough. And do it soon enough that I'll be done it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out, because I want to play that right away. And then there are also other games, but that's the only one that's coming to mind immediately.
Oh my god, I can't believe Pokemon Sleep exists.
Right?
For 3 fucking years I've been waiting.
Been waiting for permission to sleep.
Yeah. Look, they announced this shit way back in 2020 and I was like, I am in. Give me the sleep game. I have depression. I'm gonna be top of the leaderboards.
This sleep thing sounds like a neat idea. I'd like to try it sometime. I've been waiting for them to put it out, though. Oh my goodness.
Look, they're also like gonna tell you like what type of sleep you have, and like a part of me is like, don't shame me. I know I sleep like a goddamn ogre, please.
It's probably fine.
I pray it does not have sound recording. I don't need to know what I say or snore.
Well, like
Competitive depression naps.
Little sleep summary comes up.
Last, something I can win at.
Your like sleep summary comes up in the morning. They're like, "We're surprised you slept through that freight train."
Just that meme.
That's how I sound like when I snore.
God.
Oh, that's awful. I don't know how I'm gonna fit Pokemon Sleep into Pokemon Days.
Just take a fucking nap on stream.
I'll sleep for 4 hours on stream, and then I'll wake up and we'll see what what kind of Pokemon I am.
You know how like people do like subathons where they don't turn off the stream while they're asleep.
Yep.
That's gonna have a whole new dimension.
I'm gonna...
If your subathon does not include Pokemon Sleep, it's gonna be obsolete now.
Okay, so hear me out. So I'm getting a new room finished in the house. We're working on it. We're starting to work on it. It's very slow progress, but
I don't know where this is going.
so this my whole office is going to be moving to a different room in the house that we are building specifically for the purpose of being my office.
Oh.
I am planning on getting a couch or something comfortable to lay on down there. And for streams like that, if I do end up doing like a long subathon stream and need sleep, I will be doing the whole like just sleeping on stream thing. But if Twitch has a category for it, I will put myself into Pokemon Sleep category and like find a way to rig it up so you guys can see what my sleep quality is like.
Yes. Absolutely yes.
Cuz like you can put yourself in as like sleeping as a category, can't you?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. But if I'm playing Pokemon Sleep, I can say that I'm doing that on Twitch, and I'm technically not lying.
Look,
I'm still in the correct category.
I realize I'm suggesting this to you because it's something that I want to suggest to me, but I don't have the space to make it happen. But you remember a few weeks ago, perhaps a month ago, I sent you a video that said you do not need to buy a human pet bed. And I would like to counterpoint with yes. Please.
I feel like that's going to start catering to an audience that I'm not sure that I should be catering to. I don't know if that's my demographic.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm sorry. I'm just seeking to live vicariously through someone.
Trying to convince me to buy a human dog bed to put in my office.
Yes.
And sleep in it on stream.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Look,
I
you
respect
gotta
it.
shoot your shot.
I fear it, but I respect it.
Yeah. I have been nothing if not brave.
Oh yes, I am also going to have a spot to mount my Nerf Gallahorn on the wall, like a prized hunting rifle,
Good.
but not mounted in such
I
a way that it cannot be quickly taken down in the case of a home intruder.
I was gonna say, like, I would like it to be positioned like oddly low near the couch so that if you are sleeping, you can jump up and grab it.
I'm always armed. This is my Second Amendment right as a Canadian.
Look, you never know when moose will attack.
Exactly. You got the meese coming in.
To be fair, I don't know if regular bullets would stop a moose.
I don't know if there's anything that could stop a moose. If you hit them with a car, your car's the one that has a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know, if I get hit by a car, I'm in big trouble. I can't fight a moose.
Like that. Like that you found that through like transitive property. Like I cannot beat a car, therefore
Yeah, like
I probably can't beat a moose.
like,
Well, if it's like rock paper scissors, Damien.
yeah, you know, I've never thought about it that way, actually.
You know,
It's a
Damien Car Moose. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I don't either. I didn't have a follow-up to that joke. I just wanted to put it out there.
All right, well, I guess I'll never know if I can beat a moose until I fight a moose. So
Yeah. The opportunity will probably present itself at some point in your life.
I do live in Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd punch a moose in the snout if he came at me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go down, you may as well go down swinging.
Exactly. I'm not gonna escalate, but I am gonna defend myself, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, if I
Do it stream.
listen, if I get into a cage match with a moose, you better believe I'm making that into content. I'm not doing that out of the goodness of my heart.
God, you've heard of Creator Clash. Now get ready. They'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Body cam? Excuse me, I'm not a cop.
You can get POV, you're getting gored.
I'm gonna go into the ring and turn off my body cam so there's no evidence.
God damn.
You know what I want to see? I want to see like all the animals that I don't want to fight, but in a fight against each other. Like I want to see a moose and a gorilla and a lion and a kangaroo, some kind of venomous snake, great white shark. Just throw them all in a cage and let them go at it. See who's the last man standing. The great white shark will not have an advantage, but I feel like he's just spunky enough to make up for it, you know?
Yeah.
He's got the attitude.
He's working on a very strict time limit.
I would say killer whale, but they're a natural predator of moose, so
Yeah. You know, in on the occasions that a moose is deep water diving, which is more than you would think apparently.
yeah. Like if I had a nickel for every time. Man, I know we've been kind of slow on getting caught up on Phineas and Ferb, but I can't wait for you to get to that part.
Oh, is there a bit about moose?
Oh no, the thing like if I had a nickel, that's from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, it is from Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
I've just heard it so many times that I've just assumed it's just out there.
Yeah. The original I think it's Dr. Doofenshmirtz. If I had a nickel for every time I was doomed by a puppet. I love that show so much, and I'm so happy they're making more.
Oh my god, they're making more? I thought it
Oh.
ended.
Yeah, no, it did. So there's like 4 seasons and like 2 or 3 movies.
Mm.
But they just recently announced that they're doing like 2 more seasons. And I mean, it sounds like it's got the original creators coming back, so
Hell yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to it. This is our 3rd stream that we're like dedicating to shiny hunting. We did like probably a half hour near the end of the stream prior to it though, so technically 4th time. But we're slowly but surely making our way through. We're gonna get them eventually.
Making our way downtown, walking fast, Lugia's pass.
Lugia won't let us pass. He's like Gandalf. I don't know why I'm making that reference as if I have the knowledge to make it.
Oh, that's right. You told me you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's just a thing that hasn't happened yet.
That's fair. It's enough of a time commitment.
Yeah, see, here it is. I can't talk about Gandalf. I haven't even... I'll watch them. Eventually. Maybe.
We have a lot of movie nights to go through.
It's kind of... I'm... As much as I love the show, I'm still a little sad that I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I lost my ability to say that the live-action movie was the best Avatar media I had ever seen. Just because it was the only Avatar media I'd ever seen.
Do you enjoy having an unbroken nose?
I'm generally a fan.
Then slow your roll, buddy.
Listen, it's not true anymore. It was at the time.
Yeah, but the fact that you took pride in it.
It was just so fun to say it and watch people like try and find out why. Like they're like, does he not know that there's an animated series? Has he just not seen it? Is he a stupid person?
Does he live under a rock?
Does he have no taste?
Is he like a Shyamalan stan?
I will say, I really, like, I haven't watched a lot of Shyamalan movies, but there are 3 of them that I have really enjoyed.
That's fair.
Avatar: The Last Airbender was not one of them, just to get it out of the way.
A part of me was like waiting to see if it was gonna make the list.
No, it was, it's Unbreakable, Split, and Glass are the 3 that I have enjoyed. I haven't watched any of his other stuff, to be honest. Those 3 are the ones that I know. I watched, this was, I guess this was before the Destiny stream. I don't know if I brought it up, but I watched Cocaine Bear 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, how was Cocaine Bear?
That is a movie, let me tell you.
It's one of the movies of all time.
It is. I had a lot of fun with it. I went into it expecting it to be dumb fun, and nothing close to a cinematic masterpiece, and that's exactly what I got. There were a lot of little like moments that made me laugh. Margot Martindale's character was great. Love her.
Hell yeah.
Esteemed character actress Margot Martindale.
Yeah, we love esteemed character actress Margot Martindale.
Yeah, and Fugitive from the Law also. Who else? Have you watched Modern Family?
I have not.
Okay. One of the there are a lot of main characters in that show, but one of the main characters, his actor, is also in Cocaine Bear, and I didn't recognize him for like half of his role in the movie. The kid actors were actually hilarious. Yeah, no, overall just generally a stupid fun time.
Shenanigans after which hilarity ensues.
Exactly. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else I've watched recently. I've rewatched Severance like 4 times recently.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Because I watched it with my dad first, and then I have showed it to 3 friends separately.
God damn.
And there will be more because it's a great show and it needs to be shared.
It's really good, but like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I almost don't want to talk about it because I want everybody to go and experience it with a fresh baby mind.
That's completely fair. I'm just going to throw this out there now. We're not going to talk about the series. I'm just going to say that I've watched it like 4 times in a month. If you have not seen or heard of the Apple TV show Severance, I can go watch it.
I love it. It's tormented me.
It has lived rent-free in my mind.
I will cry every day there's not a season 2.
It'll come eventually. But yes, I will, without reservation, make that recommendation to anyone here.
Mm.
What else? What else? I've been getting caught up on when you watch Lord of the Rings, I'll watch that. I mean, I will eventually. I've got to make an event of it. Like I gotta.
Do we try to get like people together for it, or?
I don't know.
I would sit down for like. Do we want to do? Okay, that actually.
Are you about to ask like extended editions?
Are we gonna like marathon, or are we gonna do this in installments?
Oh goodness. If we marathon, I'm gonna need to like block out a day and a half for it.
Yeah, as much as the marathon is a worthy endeavor and an admirable odyssey, I would not mind doing it.
Just like the latest Mario game.
It's
an admirable odyssey.
Admarioable.
Can you tell how much I like that one?
Oh no, your Discord doesn't have it. Okay, so Discord is rolling out a new feature and I need you to know about it.
Oh no, what's this?
They're adding soundboards to voice chat.
Oh goodness.
I can finally do the rim shot perfectly on time.
This is beautiful and horrible all at the same time.
Yeah, you can upload your own sounds. In another D&D chat that I am in, I have suggested and gotten uploaded the Game Grumps Mario 64. Here we go.
Do I know of anything going on for Mario Day? Like that I'm doing or that Nintendo is doing?
Oh, actually, that's coming up. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's Friday.
Oh no.
I
don't have a plan.
I don't know if Nintendo's doing anything in particular. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little funky.
Actually, you've played Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. Have you played Paper Mario 64? Or I guess it's just Paper Mario.
I have not.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. It's not as good, but it is comparable.
All right.
I give it to you as a high recommendation.
It is one that I do want to play sooner or later. I was thinking I'm not going to be able to do it for this year because I would have like 4 days of prep time, and most of that is going to be me working. But I think it would be really fun to for next Mario Day do a stream where I try to speed run all of the mainline Mario games.
Holy shit. I mean, good luck.
Maybe not necessarily all of them. Like pick like the 3D games or something.
Hits.
Like do Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Odyssey.
That would be pretty good. That's still a pretty lengthy stream, but I think you could do it.
I mean, if I get some of the tricks down, Mario 64 can be very fast.
I mean, yeah.
Sunshine has...
I'm sorry, I'm having like Vietnam flashbacks to that Luigi's Mansion video you showed me.
Man, I cannot believe how fast they got that game. It's insane.
My god. I feel like you need to put that in the Discord to show everybody because it still boggles my mind.
Yeah, I will share that one at some point. I'll also have to post the Minecraft in 20 seconds and 20 minutes.
Jesus. Yeah, here.
Because that was also absurd. Lady of the EB Games in Town mentioned she's trying to organize a midnight release for the new Zelda game. Like the one in the mall?
Oh my god, I miss... Okay. A major part of my childhood and my university experience especially was going down to the GameStop for the midnight release because everybody would make such a big party out of it.
I think the last midnight release I was able to go to... Dude, okay, so first of all, that's awesome if she's able to figure that out. I have a digital copy, but I would show up just to be like, fuck yeah, Zelda, and then leave. But so the last midnight release I went to, I was there to get two things, actually. One of them, they were doing the midnight release for Halo 4. And I think it was Halo 4. Whatever it was, I had it pre-ordered. I was there for the midnight release. I didn't care about going to the midnight release for the game I was picking up, but because it was the midnight release that was rolling over to that day, it was the same day that the Wii U came out. And they weren't technically doing a midnight release for it, but because I was there and it was the date and I had a pre-order for the Wii U, I'm like, hey, can I just take that too? And they're like, yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
So I pre-ordered Halo 4 and like I was gonna get it anyway, but I pre-ordered Halo 4 and went to the midnight release so I could get my Wii U as soon as possible.
Unbelievable.
Still an underrated system. I will fight for that point till the day I die.
I agree. I never owned one because I'm gonna be honest, it was entirely the price point. But I still kind of want one, even though it's now out of date.
Yeah. Like, most of the games that I care about on it have made it to other systems, but it was just such a nice little console. And Xenoblade X is still the main holdout for me.
Yeah, and I really liked the concept the Wii U had going for it. Like, I don't know.
It's a shame that Nintendo marketed it so poorly and gave it a very confusing name.
The Nintendo Siren. Wii U, Wii U, Wii U.
I'm just going to crunch for a second.
Munch.
All right.
It's good to know what damage your regulars... Actually, no, you have a Master Ball. Never mind.
Yeah, but am I going to use it on the box legendary?
I mean, you could decide to go for it if you have some Ultra Balls, but if I remember correctly, you have not been shopping.
I think I have some Ultra Balls.
But you give it a shot. Use the Master Ball as a last resort.
Yeah.
But if you critical hit this boy...
No, as soon as I get him shiny, I'm save stating.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Not risking that shit. Yes.
Yes.
That's what he says every time.
Nope. What else has been going on in the life of Loon? I've been playing more Splatoon recently.
Nice, nice.
They had the big run this weekend, and I thought about streaming it, but I just didn't.
Is that like a
But
salmon run event?
yeah, now in Splatoon 3, now they have, in addition to Splatfests, they have weekends where Salmon Run, like they have it held on like one of the regular battle maps instead of a Salmon Run map.
Oh.
And it's usually the introduction of a brand new boss, and there's like special rewards you can get.
Oh, I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
I also just like the term big run.
Big run. Large.
It's time for the big run.
God. The large jog.
The sizable
Me.
meander. Just checking. I got. Okay. Just had to check. I got a message. I needed to make sure it wasn't something important.
No worries.
So my parents are on vacation right now, and they're getting some like renovations done on their house, and it was supposed to get started while they were gone.
Yeah.
The company was supposed to start last Monday.
Okay.
They started today.
Oh no.
My parents are getting back like this weekend.
Oh no.
So I don't know how that's gonna go.
I guess slumber party time.
Yeah, we might have to get some futons ready for them, depending on how things go. But it's fine. At least they actually got started.
Yeah.
Better than not doing it at all.
I'm still thinking of the fact that you told us during the Destiny stream, you were like, my dad is on a cruise, and I just got a message asking how Destiny is.
Okay, so I've gotten another email from him.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what he was asking in this email?
Is it also about Destiny?
It was not. So this man is on vacation. He's supposed to be enjoying himself on a cruise. He emails me asking how to put multiple pictures into one LinkedIn post.
Jesus Christ, sir.
Man.
You should have sent back, no, you're on a cruise. Stop.
The grind can stop for 2 weeks while you're supposed to be relaxing.
My God.
Man's got no off switch. He's like, yes, I could be sunbathing, but what if instead I was building up my LinkedIn portfolio?
True Sigma grind set.
Disregard sunlight, acquire currency. The man is truly built different, and I love him, but man, he could stand to relax for like one night.
Yeah. I respect it though. I could use that level of motivation.
I'll ask him if he's willing to share some.
I'm sure he can spare.
Like, he could use a little bit less, honestly.
Just siphon it out.
Just let the poor man take a break. We are 1 hour in. Is there anything more we can do? I forgot to make a sacrifice before we started the stream.
Hold on. Let me get some candles.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
What scent do we think draws in shiny Lugia? I have something like very fruity. I have something fall scented. I have something very floral.
I feel like Lugia is attracted to the fruit.
Hell yeah, okay. I will get a fruit candle.
All right.
I've also brought over just a smattering of shiny rocks.
Oh, that's true. He might be into rocks.
Hang on, if this lighter will work. I don't have a small one. I have like the kind that you use on a fucking grill.
I like to imagine it's like the tiniest candle too.
It's not very large. It's kind of small.
Nothing wrong with that. It's not about the size. It's an important lesson in a lot of aspects.
I feel like any way I can follow that up is not a conversation we want to.
I've got this whole resetting thing down to a science. Just a very boring science. It's not like astrophysics or anything. Not any of them glamorous sciences.
Rather unglamorous science.
That's me. I finished season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina today.
Oh, I still need to watch that.
Fucking Lance Reddick out of nowhere. Big fan.
Yo.
Dude's got sexy ass voice. That's all I gotta say. He also, I find this hilarious. So he's one of the like original voice actors for Destiny who have stuck around the whole time. Like, some of the actors have been recast because the people who originally played them got like too busy to keep up with everything that they needed. Like, Cade 6 was Nathan Fillion, and then he wasn't. And Ikora Ray was like Gina Torres, and then she wasn't. But Lance Reddick has been on since the start because he loves the game and the world so much that he like makes time so that if they need him, he's able to voice Zavala. And he plays the game himself, but he's a Warlock main. He's betrayed us Titans. Can't believe he would do this to us. But also, I mean, he can play what he wants to play.
Yeah.
I think he sometimes streams.
I do like the moxie of going into a game that you voice acted, looking at the character that you voice acted, and be like, "Fuck this guy! I'm gonna go and join this other faction."
I mean, wouldn't you rather work with Ikora Rey though? Let's be honest.
That's true, you know. I had no idea what I was getting into when I became a warlock, but I made the correct choice.
You know the funniest thing? Ikora Rey has the longest hair out of any of the Vanguard leaders. For those of you who aren't as familiar with Destiny, Ikora Rey is has like a buzz cut. She's got almost no hair.
God.
But
yeah, I guess you're right.
But Zavala's completely bald, and Cade was a robot. So
can we count Drifter?
Drifter's not a Vanguard leader.
Okay, fair enough.
He's just some dude that showed up in the tower.
He's just kind of here.
Yeah, I guess he's a drifter, so to speak. Makes sense.
That bum.
I love him though. I would accept him as a leader. I don't know if I'd trust all of his calls as a leader. I might question him a little bit, but
he's a loose cannon on the edge who doesn't play by the rules, but he gets shit done.
I mean, we already have like the stoic by the books leader with Zavala. We need a little bit of loose cannon.
We need some buddy cop up in the...
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Actually, on the topic of buddy cop media.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Bon Cop, Bad Cop?
No. What the fuck is that?
So it's a Canadian buddy cop movie where one of them is like a French police officer from Quebec and one of them is an English police officer from, I think, Ontario. And there's like somebody who was murdered and their body is right on the border between Ontario and Quebec, so they're not sure whose jurisdiction this crime is in, so these two have to work together.
Oh my god.
And I think it has a sequel.
Holy shit.
It is one of the movies of all time.
Add this to the list.
All right. I don't know why that came into my mind just now, but
God.
It's important. It's important knowledge.
Oh, I do not know. I've not. I need to check up on my own Discord. Did you see? A friend of mine found a bread VTuber and posted
I saw that. Oh my goodness.
One of us.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not like I haven't considered it before.
Just becoming dread.
Just becoming.
You know,
I
gotta be honest. Sometimes it's just good to have for the days when you're like, I don't know, I feel like a little schlubby. You know, like
me every day.
It's just, no, you look great. Shush.
But I always feel a little schlubby. Is there a problem?
I guess I don't have a comeback to that. I guess same.
Thank you for new terminology though.
Why? What, you've never heard anybody use the phrase schlubby?
No, that's a new one.
I've used this a lot throughout my life and I do not know where I picked it up.
I have never heard it before just now. But somehow it got the correct vibe across.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just feel a little schlubby.
Yeah. you don't feel like you look your best. You feel like you're a little bit of a bridge troll, you know, you're a little schlubby.
Just getting a little schlubby with it.
Now I'm just thinking of the movie Flubber.
True. I want that to be the next Destiny subclass. Screw asbestos. I want flubber subclass. Call it a flub class.
If they do a bad job on one, can we call it a schlub class?
But if they do really well on it, we can call it a dub class.
God damn it. Point to you, I don't ever return.
If we try it and all it wants to do is make us... If all it does is makes us want to drink, we call it a pub class. That's it. I think I'm dry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or if it's just absolutely filthy, maybe we need to take it to a tub class.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Ligma. We lit the candles and everything.
Oh, what do you mean?
Quick, start the Gregorian chanting.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
Animo, latire.
We need the Bulgarian women's choir. I think there was something in in the credits for Halo Infinite. There was something about like a Bulgarian choir, and I'm like, yeah, good for them. They've been needing more work, that Bulgarian choir.
Man, to be in a random choir that gets hired on to do a sick boss
Right?
like track, just like this is the thing that's gonna play while they're fighting like the ender of universes, and you're like, yes.
Right? Like most of the time we just sing like old ass orchestral music.
God damn.
Hit me with some of this like Latin chanting about Sephiroth. I don't know what I'm saying in Latin, but I'll say it. I could be like placing a curse on myself and my family by speaking these words, but you tell me it's for a video game soundtrack and it's gonna sound sick as hell? Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's worth it.
Oh, definitely. Oh my god, okay.
Alright, hit me. What do you got?
So this is not my story to tell. This is secondhand, but
Alright.
I have a friend whose dad is a lawyer.
Alright.
And he's worked with a lot of different clients over his storied years in law. But the most interesting client he's ever had was a psychic. And this psychic gave him a cursed doll.
As payment or just kind of as a a tip?
Just as like a tip. Actually, I think he might have I'm sorry, actually I think he might have bought it off of her.
Okay.
He might have been like, yes, I see, you know, I see this business you have. I see these sick ass dolls. What is this? And she was like, yeah, it's cursed. And he's like, I'll take it.
So, sorry, just before we continue on, just the terminology of as a tip, I'm just imagining like going out to a restaurant and paying your bill, and then instead of giving any money to the server, you hand them a little cursed doll.
Well, this is like a full size doll. Like it's
Oh goodness. All right.
It takes two hands to hold, you know?
Even better. The mental image just gets better.
But like I'm trying to find this page because she has some really wild like descriptions for these dolls. And like different ones do different things. I don't remember what this one is meant to do. I think it's like a protective, like whatever, but like it's dangerous to have if you're inexperienced or something. And he's just like, whatever, cool. But I remember it specifically because we looked at it on the website because there are more of it, and in all capital letters in the description of this doll, as it's talking about like what it looks like, what color hair it has, it talks about a hole in the chest that is in all caps letters, the cardiac hole.
Oh.
And I just reading that in like an otherwise standard description, I had to sit there for like a full 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry? The what?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh. The cardiac hole. And I will get back to you if there are any other stories about this psychic, because I still want to know. I've been trying to get out of this friend like what exactly like the
what is the
like,
cardiac hole for?
Well, yeah, and like also, well, I think I could actually find that out if I can get the website again. But
please do keep me posted.
Yeah, but there's like all kinds of different things she also does like classes and seances and shit. And I'm like, I want to meet this woman. This is fascinating.
Cardiac hole.
The cardiac hole.
It's where you put your heart while you're getting a new one. And then it will awaken. And what happens after that is anyone's guess.
I'm gonna see if I can find it just by Googling cardiac hole. Nope, that's an atrial septal defect, is a birth defect of the heart.
Ah, yeah, no, that's a little different. Unless that doll had a birth defect.
Hang on, we're gonna see if we can... Nope, I do not think I can find... Wait, let's try cursed doll.
Yeah, maybe the curse is an important ingredient.
First, hold on, let me try... Let me try the location. No, I do not think I can find the site.
Oh, that's unfortunate. This is why we can't have nice things like cardiac holes.
Yep.
If we don't understand our history, we're doomed to repeat it, Loon. Do you want a cardiac hole?
I've never seen my own heart. I don't know if I already have one.
Well, I don't have a hole to my heart, so I assume that I don't have one.
Yeah.
Not... I'm assuming I don't have the hole, not I assume I have a heart.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It would be funny, though, if you meant in, like, the object permanence sense. I've never seen it. I don't have a heart.
Yeah, if I can't see it, it's not real. Do I have a butt right now? I don't know.
The assless wonder.
I'm an assless chap. They named them all after me.
Every last one.
All those chaps and their asslessness. I was the inspiration.
Patient zero. Don't spit.
No, I'm not a quitter. Who do you think was the original assless chap?
I don't know, man.
When were they invented? Hold on.
Wouldn't it be funny if like we can find a name? It's like
Hold on. I'm just gonna get to this menu because it's quieter. At least the 1970s. Since at least the 1970s. Hmm. Who is a prominent person in the 70s who didn't really have an ass? They might have been the original assless chap.
I don't know if I have an encyclopedic knowledge of 70s asses, which honestly
That's
is a
on
failing
you.
on my part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe you, Loon. I come to you for one thing. Your knowledge of
Knowledge
asses.
on 70s celebrity asses.
We've all got our weird niche knowledge bases.
I mean, it's not unfair to assume that would be mine. Weird decade, but you know.
Every decade's got their thing. The 80s had... I guess it was mainly the 70s that also had disco.
The 70s were eventful.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I hope my 70s are eventful.
I mean, may you live in interesting times can be a blessing or a curse.
I want it to be a good interesting, at least.
Here's hoping.
I'm gonna be running Smash tourneys in the nursing home when I'm an old man.
God, fucking same.
I'm gonna bust out my vintage Ganondorf.
Get wrecked, scrub.
I'm here to kick ass and take names. And I already know all your names. I'm gonna be like the grandpa that plays video games to bond with his grandchildren, but absolutely fucking stomps them. Because they need to learn. Nothing in this world is handed to you. You gotta earn it.
God.
Life lessons with Grandpa Damie. Please, Luigi. Alright, hold on. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do the walk a little circle around him strategy for a second.
Talk to him from the side. Oh, never mind. Next time we'll do that.
I was really hoping I was gonna be able to say, there won't be a next time. I physically cannot.
You can't. No, he won't turn around. You got... Damn, rude.
I have to talk to him from the direct square in front of him. That's so lame.
Wow.
He won't let me mix it up at all.
What other strange superstitions can we lay on this boy?
Hold on. I'm gonna ice fang him. And then crunch him. And now we'll restart. Just give him a little, the old 1-2, and then reset back to the beginning. Oh, so that Mika and the Witch's Mountain Kickstarter has come to a close.
I ended up backing it.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Nice. Just at the like digital game level, or?
Yeah, I just got the I got the one that comes with a Kickstarter exclusive outfit and a digital copy of the game and some goodies.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. I
I
almost I almost shelled out for the tarot cards, but it's only 15 cards, it's not a full deck, and the shipping was more than the deck.
ooh,
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how that game comes together. Because that little demo they put out was already just very fun.
After watching you play through all of those, I now have many things on my wish list. I want to get mail time when it comes out. I want to
Yeah,
get dream setup. I want to get Mika
Dream Setup
and
is out.
oh, I might get that now then. I don't know.
Yeah, that one came pretty quickly after Next Fest ended, actually.
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to that like Planet of Lana one that you sent me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
With
with Squumch.
Squumch. Yeah.
Yeah, we love Squumch.
Oh, the boy.
He was perfect, without flaw. Just a squunchy little guy.
Yeah. The myriad horrible fates that could meet them.
Oh, he was a
Hello,
trooper though.
Zix.
Welcome, Zix and friends.
Hello.
As always, shout out to Zix. I'm gonna guess Elden Ring.
Fancy seeing you
Hey,
here.
howdy. I hope Elden Ring's been treating you well.
Oh my god, he just fought my top tier of the bosses on the Smasher Pass tiers.
Oh shit.
Ugh.
It can be both, Zix.
Mr. Mog. I mm.
Listen, we're doing good. We're having fun here. He's gonna show up eventually. My mental state is definitely not withering away slowly, inevitably.
You can tap out if you want. There are easier
Loon,
shinies to hunt.
Loon, hear me out.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking coward. I will not tap out.
Jesus.
We will get the shiny boy or die trying.
I fucking guess.
Because at this point, it's sunk cost fallacy, you know.
Well, yeah.
Like if I give up now, I've already put this much time in. I look like a bitch.
I have watched a little bit of Good Mythical Morning, but I need to watch more.
It's been a long time since I watched Good Mythical Morning. I loved Rhett and Link back in the day, and I just haven't
Yeah.
watched much of their stuff lately, which is a shame.
The odds, hold on.
It's one
This
in
is
8,090 or 8,196, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there.
something like that.
Hold on. 2048, 96. I think it's 8192, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wait, no, it is much more than that. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, one in 8,192, give or take a little bit.
What do they say about him?
I've been on a kick of listening to a lot of Rhett and Link's older music lately. I've always been a fan of What Women Want.
Okay, gotcha. I had to leave before stream ended. Did Zix beat him? I stuck around until about the point that he got to second phase. And I did not get the chance to make the joke that I wanted to make, which was I sure will Nihil, if you know what I'm saying.
You beat a cosmic daddy. Nice. I need to start getting caught up on the Souls games.
I mean, you know, I'm beginning my journey. I do not know how far I am through Dark Souls, but
I feel like you've made pretty good progress, because, I mean, the last time I saw you playing, you were fighting, like, Quelaag.
we got to Tall and Small
Oh,
in Orlando last time.
okay. So yeah, that's not bad at all. Man,
Tall and Small is the new wall.
true. Tall and Small was an experience for me, because I started Dark Souls 1 during an Extra Life stream and set myself a challenge that I had to beat. Like, I started Dark Souls from zero and had to beat Ornstein and Smog before the end of the Extra Life stream.
Oh no. Did you do it?
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah.
I took breaks in the middle to play some other things, but with some coaching from friends, I got them done at like 4 in the morning, I want to say.
Very nice.
But man, that was an experience.
Maybe I need to just set absurd goals like that for myself. We don't stop until Snorlax and Pikachu die. I mean, that's kind of how I handled Path of Pain, which I think I kind of had to.
Yeah, just force yourself to get through it.
You can't exactly take breaks on that.
Yeah.
So I did an endurance stream, and then I ended up having to stop because I went insane by the end, but I did end up getting through it the next day.
Nice. I want to think of more like duo names you can just apply to those two. The first one that came to mind for some reason was Statler and Waldorf. I think that fight would be much more entertaining if they were both angry old man Muppets just shouting insults at you the whole time.
Yeah, honestly, that would be an improvement.
Sonic and Knuckles. Also, very small tangent. The Sonic movies. I still can't believe they got Idris Elba to be Knuckles.
Oh, I know, right?
Like,
And he does a really good job.
He does. What the hell?
Also, okay, a brief tangent so you will know what a big Sonic nerd I was as a child. I feel like the movies got something right about Knuckles that I feel like a lot of the like mainline games have really fucked up in his writing.
Hmm.
is that like in a lot of newer Sonic content, Knuckles is just like the big brawny dumbass.
Yeah.
And like the point of Knuckles was not to be stupid, it was to be socially inept.
Yeah, like out of touch.
He's an isolated man living as the only guardian on a floating island in the middle of nowhere. He has had very minimal social interaction, especially in his adulthood. And so, like, when a guy comes to him and is like, hey, your shit is in danger, this guy is the threat, he has no outside information to go off of to not totally believe this man.
Yeah.
And I feel like the movies played that straight. He wasn't an idiot. He just like
He didn't understand things.
yeah.
That so that being said, I I really like that characterization of Knuckles, but I do have a soft spot for big dumb idiot Knuckles as well.
That is fair.
I think
There's nothing wrong with Big Dumb Idiot Knuckles, but I feel like the movies did a really good job of playing to kind of the original spirit of how he was written, and I've missed that because I feel like a lot of modern Sonic content has really gone the more dumbass route.
yeah. Yeah, I think there's room for both, and they don't take up enough room for smarter Knuckles.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I always think back to like the Sonic Boom series, and Knuckles is probably my favorite character in that because he gets so many good stupid gags.
I need to watch through all of Sonic Boom. I've seen some of it.
I still think one of my favorite clips is of him like I don't remember exactly what the setup is for it. Like there's a note that's left on like a table in Sonic's house or something. And Knuckles is like, "Let me see that." And he looks at it for like 5 seconds of silence. And then he like reaches behind himself and pulls out some reading glasses and puts them on and continues to stare at the paper in silence. And then just quietly goes, "Oh right, I can't read." And it's so stupid, but I love it.
God damn.
I also always think I think there's an episode where like Tails builds a successful cloning machine because he wants to be more efficient and get more work done. But every clone is stupider than the last one. So there's one clip that's out there of like one of the Tailses calling out to all the other Tailses, "Hey guys, this wall tastes like wall." And then a small horde of them just starts licking the wall. Like, thanks, buddy. You're doing great.
It sure does.
He's not wrong. He's got that going for him. Hold on. Sound alert. Crack it open a cold one with the boys.
Hell yeah.
Got some cherry flavored peace tea.
Oh. Yum.
Yum. Hold on. I had something last night. That was Mike's Hard Blue Freeze.
Yo.
Have you ever had it
Give
before?
me some of that. Get me some of that. I don't know what the hell that is, but it sounds like everything I love.
So
I've never had it.
okay, so I had the peach fuzz one when we were doing Destiny, right?
Yeah.
And it tasted like Fuzzy Peach's candy, but carbonated and alcoholic.
Yeah.
Which was great. I think Blue Freeze might be my new favorite. Like, it's beaten out Peach Fuzz because it basically tastes like carbonated alcoholic Blue Freezy.
I want it. Oh, I always get blue raspberry when I get a slushie.
It was perfect, delicious.
I need it.
Speaking of needing things, fucking Luigi, please.
It could happen any moment, which
Luigi,
I mean,
I want to make a humble request. Please, just a hint of a shiny.
just one is a treat. Like I said, there are easier ones to hunt if you would like to do those. You know, like I
No.
could get you on the Japanese Ditto market.
No.
Okay.
We're getting Luigi.
I will be very impressed.
Luigi, I'll buy you alcohol. He doesn't know what money is. Why did I think that offer would work? He's not familiar with the concept of currency.
Lugia follows no government.
Man, to be a legendary Pokemon and not have to follow the law of government.
Do you think they don't have to pay taxes? Probably not. They're probably an endangered species.
Yeah, well,
Which, I mean,
I was gonna call out the no taxation without representation thing, but they already do that. Because, like, he can't vote.
yeah.
He wouldn't fit in the little booth.
Dude, okay, actually, do you think Pokemon can vote?
Almost definitely not. They're like state-sanctioned dog fighting, basically.
Yeah, that's true. Almost definitely not.
Also, I saw an interesting observation. So, the act of getting a Pokemon into a Pokeball, like, they physically cannot fit inside the ball. So
Yeah, they
they're
have to
obviously
get-
like digitized, right?
Yeah.
But they can break out of the Pokeball.
Yeah.
So I just like the idea that if you're simply angry enough, you can resist the process of being digitized.
Jesus.
Like, local bird, literally too angry to be turned into data.
Twitter this morning. I don't know exactly what happened to Twitter this morning, but they did something with the API that fucked up the whole site, and they were like, yeah, it's broken, all of it.
Oh, yeah, that's normal. I try not to engage much with Twitter.
No, that's fair. It's just something I tangentially became aware of.
Yeah, yeah. Also, hold on, Toast. This is like 10 minutes ago. It feels like, but I do want to acknowledge your call out of Badger and Skinny Pete as names for Ornstein and Smog. Fantastic. I didn't want that to go unnoticed.
God damn.
Ornstein and Smog are just Bon Cop and Bad Cop. Dylan and Irving.
God.
I demand a shiny Luigi.
I request a shiny Luigi.
I want to see your manager. There we go, new headcanon. All these Lugias are like the minimum wage employees, and I'm just yelling at them until they get their manager, who is the shiny one.
Then we're gonna kidnap the manager and leave the building.
Exactly. Communism. We're all equals now. Rise up, seize the means of production.
What are they producing on the Whirl Islands?
Whirlpools. They export them.
Just like the bathtubs.
Yeah, this is actually their HQ. Loogie is the foreman.
That is one of the, like, if I ever am in a position where I have some money, if I have moved tax brackets, my biggest desire is a whirlpool bathtub.
That's fair.
I want so bad. Because I take so many baths.
Well, now mine feels a little silly.
What is yours?
I want to slide directly from my bedroom to the kitchen.
Can it be like a fireman pole?
Actually, with the layout of our house, it could. It very much could.
Because then you can double as having a stripper pole in the kitchen.
I like the way you think.
See?
Okay, so imagine me doing that thing where you're like clamping onto the pole with your legs and hanging upside down from it, descending from the ceiling.
What's for dinner?
If I situate it close enough to the stove like that, I can cook like that.
Oh god. And I also feel like, okay, in terms of installation cost, I feel like that would be less than a slide.
That's true. Less infrastructure needing to be adjusted.
I unfortunately do not have a garden bathtub. I have a very small bathtub that I do not fully not fully fit in.
Hold on, we're in back right now, so I'm going to quickly I'm going to quickly kill your audio and then reset you. Be gone with the and then we'll find out. And then returned with the
hello. I do not have a nice bathtub, unfortunately. I have a very small bathtub that I hardly fit into. Am I better?
I hope so. But also same on the bathtub situation.
Yeah. It's just like a little it's supposed to be a shower, but you can take a bath in it in a pinch. Dude, okay.
It will be in a pinch.
So, yeah. At one point, I was going with, I guess I can say, my ex's family were house shopping, and they're a bit more well off than me. And I went along because I happened to be around, and one of the houses, they had the coolest setup. They had a huge bathtub, and it was like boxed into the same space as the shower. So you take a bubble bath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you're all covered in soap and suds and stuff, and you're like, I need to rinse off. But like if you are in a standard bath, you either need to make like a whole awkward to-do about it, or you have to stand up and take a whole separate shower. It was like you can step out, and that whole process is so much nicer.
Oh.
And you don't get soap everywhere.
Damn.
It was so nice. This was the same house that the bathroom led into the closet that led into the bedroom. It was like a circular deal.
Ooh.
It was very, very fancy.
Sounds like it. Damn.
Yeah. I think about it all the time.
I don't blame you.
Man, imagine having any money.
I can do $4. So hear me out, Loon.
Yeah.
big bathtub, water slide into big bathtub.
I feel like you'd have to worry about velocity because
The
you don't. You have.
big bathtub.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, you'd have to have a very big bathtub. But you know what? The size of the bathtub you're proposing, that's what I want. I
Yeah,
want like
so
a
here's
Roman bath setup where it's like a full room.
yeah, you get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not here to worry about logistics. I'm here to worry about fun. We'll figure out logistics another
Yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to make it work. All I'm saying is, all right, beautiful Roman bath setup, like fucking columns and shit everywhere, but there's a fucking water slide.
Very
from
colorful
another
water
room.
slide.
Like carnival music is softly playing at a distance.
Link.
God.
We got like calming piano melodies playing throughout the room, but every so often we just faintly intersperse the like sonic drowning music.
But like in like an orchestral cover, so it still sounds very sophisticated.
It's horrible and I love it. Also, that was another thing in the Sonic movie. The fact that he couldn't swim and just sank to the bottom of the water.
Yeah.
Like, that's just perfect.
Yeah.
I love when they adapt a video game into something else and they keep those like weird little quirks of games. There's not many other examples, but they're out there.
Yeah.
I'm like actively trying to think of if I can remember any more.
I'm just thinking about very incredible house ideas now. I'm like, how wild can I get? I've always been a fan of the classic bookshelf that turns into a door.
True. I think my sister worked on a house that had one of those.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, no, if I could have like a weird secret compartment room, that would be amazing. That's like dream house thing someday.
I was thinking, well, I was thinking dungeon, but you know, same idea.
Yep, I mean, fair enough, fair enough.
What I need to do too is I need to make like the book that you pull to get in like really like a really silly choice. I need to make it a pun somehow or something.
I've always liked the idea of like expertly concealed hidden room, but the like lever to open it is a single book that is like the only book on the entire shelf.
How to hide it.
Yeah. It'd be so inconspicuous.
God.
I have not seen the Uncharted movie.
I have not either.
I've yet to play the Uncharted games.
Ditto. I should.
I think I own all of them. I just haven't gotten to the playing them part yet. Nice, nice. The the Halo Paramount Plus series, which was not overall good, had a lot of like little elements from the games that I think they did pretty well with. There were a number of like first person scenes where like you would see things from a Spartan's perspective, and they'd have all the like heads up display and all that, and I thought that was really cool.
So I am not a big Halo person, but Zix had a good take, I think, that if they had had literally any other protagonist, it would have been very different.
Yeah, I think the guy who played Chief, I think, did a pretty good job. But they had him take off his helmet in like the first episode. And granted, we did get Master Cheeks. Which I guess some people were hoping for. I really didn't like the whole Quan storyline. And I was kind of right with Soren in like her last episode when she says we'll meet again someday, and he says God I hope not as he's walking away. I felt that in my soul. I felt like they could have just cut that entirely, and I would have enjoyed the show a lot more. There were aspects of it that I really liked, but I think overall I was kind of disappointed. But I mean, they're making a second season, and I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still curious where it goes. Halo is just one of those series that, like, it would take a lot for me to completely stop engaging with it because I really just love the series as an idea. I just hope they figure out what they're doing with it and kind of nail it down a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always down for basically doing an extended universe to any franchise that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of having a show like that is still cool. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
execution.
I do also... I really liked the stuff that they did with Halsey. Like, having her be a very, very morally gray character. Because, I mean, technically the things that she did led to humanity surviving a war with the Covenant, but man, she did some fucked up stuff. Which I guess is the whole moral of her existence in the Halo series. Yeah, we do love a good morally gray character in this household. Oh man, not gonna get into spoilers just in case, but is anybody an Attack on Titan enjoyer? And if so, have you seen the newest episode? The final season, the final part, part 1. I have not played Knights of the Old Republic yet. That is one that it kind of flew under my radar at the time that it was relevant.
I played KOTOR. HK, my love.
That's one that I'll play eventually. I want to, like, I have a long list of games that I'll play eventually.
KOTOR is a really good game, but it's aged.
Aren't they remaking it?
Oh, are they? Oh, fuck, I might need to replay it.
I'm pretty sure I heard something about them remaking it.
Oh, I sure hope so. I think that, I mean, I've heard rumors spinning around, but I didn't know if any of them ever got confirmed.
Yeah.
It's coming out on PS5. Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
HDHK. I
I'll,
love him.
I will probably play it on PS5 when it comes out then. Maybe not like release date, but I'll probably make that one that I play sooner than like 5 years after it comes out.
God, BioWare continuing their trend of making parties of characters that I love. Amazing selections of romanceable options and one character in the party that I really want to romance who isn't an option.
Yep, that's
Every friend group has.
I've had that struggle in a number of games.
Oh,
Not all of them BioWare ones.
I'm so glad Divinity 2 went, you know what? Every character that you can recruit, every single one, there is a romance plot for.
Perfect.
No matter who you look at and you're like, that's the one I want, you can pursue them.
I'm still mad about Skyrim and the was it the Dawnguard DLC where they gave their like they made their most interesting character in the game not romanceable.
God.
Like they brought Serana in and made her like the a character with like an actual story and a lot more like she felt a lot more alive as a companion than anyone else. And then like I think if I remember correctly, you could try to ask her and she'd be like, "No, I don't do that stuff."
Man. Not fucking fair.
Oh, sounds like it's having development issues. Quote, delayed indefinitely. Oh.
I don't know if there are any Dragon Age enjoyers in chat, but you guys know what I'm going to say. It's what everybody who's ever played Dragon Age 2 says. Is why would they make Varric and not make you able to kiss him? and then I later found out that there's an interview with the devs where they're like, we almost slipped something in. And I'm like, damn it, that makes it worse.
What could have been? And like for the entire history of the series, Peach hasn't been romanceable.
God damn, but
Huge oversight on Nintendo's part.
I think Dragon Age Origins doesn't have one that really made me feel like, damn it, I'm fucking missing out.
There was no like unattainable desire there.
I think the closest that they come is potentially Sten. I would totally romance Sten.
I feel like they've had that in some of the like Harvest Moon and Rune Factory games too.
Oh yes, Rune Factory 4. I wanted to kiss Venti.
Dude, I was all over Rune Factory 2 Blacksmith Lady. I don't remember her name, but
oh my god,
she wasn't an option.
Okay. So there's apparently like a fucking trend of the blacksmiths, because also Rune Factory 4, there was a ton of people who liked what's his name? Start with a B.
I feel bad that I don't remember, but I know the guy you're talking about, and I can picture him in my mind.
I think it's Bado, but I'm not sure.
It might be. That sounds right.
But yeah, he's wonderful. He's a beautiful lazy baby.
Hold on. I'm gonna see. I can reference his name for a moment. I'm just gonna get to a scene that doesn't have a lot of sound. Let's see. Where's the Rune Factory 4 section of this book? There we go. I have an art book.
Did you also shell out for the collector's edition?
I did. Botto, yep.
Me too.
The
I
blacksmith who
got
loves profit.
I got the woolly head keychain
I got...
because I thought it would be funny to have it like a little shrunken head hanging above my desk.
That's great. So I have this art book that came with the Rune Factory 4 Special Edition on the Switch. And it's got like
Hell yeah.
character art for all 4 of the Rune Factory games, or like the mainline ones.
E.
Oh wait, I can find Tanya so that people can know what I'm talking about.
You know, Rune Factory 4 was like the so like I feel like I betrayed myself in a way.
You cannot marry her, but she's perfect.
Unforgivable.
Right?
But I've betrayed myself in Rune Factory 4. They hand you numerous monster boyfriends and girlfriends, and
you went for...
I didn't romance any of them.
Who did you go for?
Arthur.
You know what? Respectable. Respectable.
You know what it was? Okay, I'll tell you what it is. They did something with his sprite art that I really enjoyed. He's like a very emotionally reserved character and like very like calculating.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of his expressions are micro expressions. There's a lot of changing to like just like a slight raise of the eyebrow or something. And as you get like deeper into his story and you start to get into like his baggage, you see a lot more of that. And you see a lot more of like, you start to be able to kind of decipher based on barely perceptible cues. And I'm just like, I'm kind of into that, you know?
That's actually a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I always went for Chlorica because sleepy, cute. There wasn't really anything deeper to it than that for me.
That's fair. I mean, really, people could have also called it because they could have said, who's the most Machiavellian in this entire game? And they're like, it's probably between Leon and Arthur. And Leon takes a while to get to the village, so...
Yeah.
Arthur had a head start.
I'm still so mad about one plot thing in Rune Factory 3.
Oh?
There's the whole romance thing, right? And you can go get married, and that's great.
Yeah.
You can't propose to somebody until after you've beaten the 3rd dungeon.
Okay.
And the day of your wedding, she's kidnapped, and you have to go into the 4th dungeon.
Yo, though! That's cool, though! Oh my god, that adds stakes!
It is, but also, like, I was so ready. It was my big day, and then everything fell apart.
Oh, but I love that. Oh, I want more emotional turmoil in my love life, you know?
Loon, do you?
No. Well, assuming that I'll have a love life, then yes.
Fair, I guess. Man, no, I've always been a fan of the Rune Factory games. I'm probably going to play at least a sample of each of them on stream at some point.
Yeah.
They're kind of longer games to do a full series on, and not a huge amount of variety to the gameplay, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like if I was gonna do, like, full playthroughs, I would have to, like, kind of space them out. Like, do 1, then take a break, then do 2, then take a break.
Yeah,
you know, etc.
Yeah. Definitely could not do all of them in a chain. Hey, Nedge, welcome.
I do intend to do all of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life when it comes out, though.
True. I've been thinking of busting out Magical Melody soon.
Oh my god, it's been forever since I thought about Magical Melody.
Have I told you about the tragedy of my Magical Melody experience?
Oh my god. Does it have to do with the fact that, like, people could move away?
No, it was the fact that I played like 4 years of that game, and then my sister saved over my save accidentally.
No. no.
And I have never been able to pick up the game for any substantial amount of time since then.
Oh my god.
Just came back from Headbang to the Road to El Dorado soundtrack. Honestly, understandable.
On the trail we blaze.
It's tough to be a god. That is a great movie. And an incredible case study on why the rogue and the bard should go off and have their own shenanigans.
Yeah. I was just thinking to myself, wait a minute. Who in the pirate game are the rogue and the bard? And then I was like, wait a minute. That's the whole plot. Is Journey and Rev went off to have their own shenanigan. That's how the whole game started.
Yep, and here we are.
I need you to put that in the Discord.
Just Photoshop our faces onto Miguel and Tulia.
I'll type it out later. If I remember. Is Talora Chell? I don't know, man. Talora's too much of a narc to be Chell.
That's fair.
Talora was very much in camp. I'll tell on your mom, or I'll tell your mom on you, rather. Well, I guess now she's in camp. I'll tell on your mom. She would snitch if she ever heard she was up to anything.
Toast is recommending KOTOR 1 and 2 if you have the chance and get them on Steam.
So I actually need to play KOTOR 2. I've heard. Okay. Yeah. I've heard that KOTOR 2 has been heavily modded to fill in the gaps, so to speak. And I think that's the experience that I want to have blind, but I need to speak to my cousin knows more, and I want to verify that that is a good way to proceed. But I know there's more HK.
Yeah, so I believe I actually own both of them already. And if not, yeah, if they will probably get on sale. But I'm like 99% certain that I own both of them.
My Star Wars hot take, and I want this to I want to give this disclaimer that I have loved every one of these characters, but Star Wars has been trying to do the snarky robot character based on HK. They've been trying to get they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle twice, and it has not been working out as well. Every single time I love this character, but I always can pick them out just laser quick. It just there was one in Rogue One. There's I didn't watch the sequel trilogy except for the first one, so I cannot speak to the next two. I believe there's one in Solo. They just keep trying to do it, and I'm honestly like, you have the rights. You can just.
You can just
I
use
love
them.
him too. I love him too, but I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're trying to do.
He's the equivalent of like the marketable animal companion. But no, K2 is great.
Yeah. Like I said, full disclaimer, I do not have distaste for any of these characters. Quite the opposite. Whenever they shunt out another one, I'm like, yes, give him to me. This one is mine.
Bring me more.
Add him to the husband pile.
Just got a bunch of robot husbands.
Yes.
Man, I still gotta play Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh man, I never played that either. God,
I've
so many games.
I played a bit of it, but it was um so my birthday falls at the end of September. Um which unfortunately is the beginning of like when school happens. And so I was going into my final year of college, and a friend got me,
Oh,
my friend Trent got me that as a birthday gift. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And then I played maybe 2 hours of it, and then I was stuck with schoolwork for the next several months. And by several, I mean like 7. Um, and so I've been perpetually at 2 hours into that game. And at this point, I'm just going to end up restarting it.
that's fair.
Yeah, no, like I've heard incredible things about Fallen Order. It's just one that I unfortunately got and tried to get into at a time when I didn't have time to get into it. I'm probably going to slot it into my playthrough of all the Dark Souls games because it feels very similar. I'm just going to do like a bunch of Souls-like games.
Does anybody know? Sorry, this is a non sequitur. I just had like a pressing question come to mind. Does anybody know if the 3DS online servers still work for multiplayer?
I believe they're shutting or no, I think they're shutting down the eShop soon. I don't know about their multiplayer servers.
Okay. I feel, and I don't know if I want to do this on stream because I just kind of want to vibe. I feel a longing to return to Animal Crossing New Leaf,
That's
but I kind of want to bully people to join me.
that's fair.
Because I feel like Animal Crossing is best when social.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have felt a longing. I guess I could open up my New Horizons save, which I never did. I never did finish building my island, but
Yeah.
there's a lot to unpack there. Least emotionally loaded is the sheer amount of flowers I'm going to have to dig up. And before you say it, I could start a new island, but I have so many villagers that I'm really invested in keeping.
That's fair. I had one of my when I started playing New Horizons, I I rocked in and my starting villagers were I believe Teddy and Rocket. And Rocket's all right. Not my favorite. But Teddy is my boy. He is adorable. He is a jock. He looks cuddly. We share a birthday.
Oh my
He is
god.
the perfect man. Teddy is my favorite villager.
Hell yeah. My first when I went to do like they send you on the Nook Miles whatever tours and you can get your first villagers. The first one I came across was Sherb. Sherb
Oh,
was very high in
Sherb.
demand, but all I knew was I looked into those big empty eyes, that no brain smile, and I was like, this character is going to be my Blorbo for the rest of my days. Like,
I think I remember one of my first villagers I got from the Nook Miles tours was Cherry,
oh
and
my
I love her.
god.
She's precious.
I also went out and before New Horizons even was before it dropped, like before we even had a release date, I went and I don't even own a Wii U, but you know the Animal Crossing board game for the Wii
Yeah,
U that
yeah,
came
Amiibo
with a bunch of
Party.
amiibo? Yes. I went out and I bought it, one because in case there's any functionality I wanted to have just as many as I could have. But two, I knew that Amiibo Party came with a Rosie card.
Yep.
And she was my first villager in population growing. She was the first one to randomly move in Wild World. Yes, I love her. I love her.
She's perfect.
So I'm like this has also been my Blorbo like since I was 4, you know, like
Yeah, no, I get you.
she is my best friend.
Rosie was one of mine too.
Oh my god, same brain cell.
What the hell? Animal Crossing 1 days. Yeah, Teddy's fantastic.
Oh, I love that series so much.
It's great.
They're all so good.
I really love Timmy and Tommy. Just as a concept, they're wonderful.
I'm gonna be honest, the biggest injustice and I know a lot of people were like New Horizons came out and it felt like it was an unfinished game, and I get that, and I think that's a valid critique. However, my only gripe with New Horizons is that they stopped.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, why did they not just keep coming up with shit?
There's so much opportunity. I miss Nookingtons.
Yes. Oh my god. I've been hoping for store upgrades the entire goddamn time.
We got one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, important question. Have you watched the Animal Crossing anime movie?
I have not. What?
Onto the list it goes.
No way. Oh my god. Ozzy! I know Ozzy! Oh. Oh boys, all of them.
I'm trying to think of what other villagers I've always really liked.
I'm really like Animal Crossing privileged in that Rosie gets on a lot of the promotional art and has like a lot of merch. So I know I can always get merch of my Blurbo. But like people who like really obscure villagers, I feel for you all. I want you all to get marketable plushies.
I love Pedro, unironically.
I have thought about, and I do not know if I can do it, but I've thought about getting like a 3D print sculpt of, because I have the Rover amiibo.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking about getting like and printing it blank and painting it to be Rosie, and then getting a little NFT chip to make it functional.
Oh yeah. NFC, not NFT.
Sorry, not NFT. I think I think that was just a Freudian slip because I've been talking about NFT bros so much.
Luna's gonna put out a line of Rosie NFTs. You heard it here first, folks.
Hashtag cancel Loon.
My friend who made me the Foot Kirby amiibo, I believe has made herself a Rover amiibo, but that's him doing the stupid like the Hat Kid dance. Where it almost looks like he's dabbing.
Jesus.
I think Rover is her Blorbo.
He's a good lad.
He is. We love.
I feel I have the amiibo because every time I look at him, I'm filled with like an intense nostalgia.
Yeah, he's wonderful. I still think back to that train conversation in the first game.
Mind if I sit here? I actually do. Well, I'm gonna sit here anyway,
Yep.
dickwad.
Stupid little bastard, and I love him. And then he just like calls his friend and he's like, "Hey, I got some schmuck who needs a house. You got a spot for him?" They're running a racket together.
God, I also love like old Tom Nook and how he was kind of a fucking like mobster.
Yeah, he was a scumbag, and I love him.
Yeah, like all Tom Nooks are good Tom Nooks, but I kind of am sad that he's softened up so much.
Everybody softened up.
I like to believe, at least in Tom Nook's case, it feels like it kind of fits with his canon story, because he is now getting Timmy and Tommy more involved in the business, and his plot with Sable is continuing. gradually. Every game I buy, the first question on my mind is, what is Sable going to tell me about Tom Nook?
Yep. Are the sisters still like friends?
Have
Like, have they repaired their relationship with?
have they gotten married yet? No, they will not, but I can hope.
You know,
Also, I'm really upset that we are missing the mail carrier drama.
I was about to say the same fucking thing. I'm like, where the hell is Phyllis?
Yes!
I also miss Copper and Booker.
Oh my god, I miss them too. Okay, dude, okay. You know how in New Leaf, like, getting the police station was like a random thing that like a villager had to come up and talk to you about, and then
I don't
like
think
you
I
would be
ever
able
got
to...
it.
I didn't either. I actively tried. Like, I would do whatever I could to get those random interactions to pop, hoping to God I could see Copper and Booker again, because I knew they were in the files. They were there. I could have them. And then New Horizons said ACAB.
They really did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Man, I remember when I was a kid and I first went to the police station in like Animal Crossing for the GameCube, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is the lost and found." And I know now that that is a game mechanic meant to both, like, if you leave an item sitting around, it will be collected there, and it's just a spot that random items can spawn that you can add to your inventory. Me being a dumbass little kid was like, "Oh, some villager lost this item.
Oh.
I'm gonna feel bad if I take it because it's there."
Dude, I also felt bad.
I didn't understand that it was supposed to be like, here is some random free items for you, and we needed like an in-game reason for them to be here. I always thought like some villager's gonna find out that I came here and claimed this item that was theirs, and they're gonna be mad at me.
Oh my god. The same brain cell. I eventually, like, after months of playing, finally gave into the temptation and found out.
Yeah, no, it took me a while, but I got there eventually.
God.
And I miss doing the like chains of favors. Like
Me too.
one character asks you to go like, "Oh, I lent my Game Boy to Rosie. Can you go get it back from her?" And then she's like, she's the worst borrower ever. She's like, "Oh yeah, I lent it to someone else, even though it wasn't hers to begin with." And you got to go through like your entire village, figuring out who still has the item so you can bring it back.
Yeah. They also had like an abundance of like random things that you could find. Like in winter, there would sometimes be an igloo, and it wasn't like, you know how like the campsite in New Horizons is like somebody coming to your town to visit.
Yeah.
But in population growing, one of your own villagers just decides to set up an igloo.
Yeah, because
and
why
they're
not?
just in there. They're in there all day, and you can go in and they're making soup.
Yeah. Man.
Like,
and like that was an N64 game. What the hell?
a good friggin' game. There's something, okay. I'm trying to think of how to word this.
All right.
I feel an intense nostalgia for those games with that specific font.
Yeah.
There's a font that gets reused a lot in like GameCube and N64 games. And I just feel something in my heart when I see it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Man, okay. Old Animal Crossing. The NESs that you could get. That you could play games in Animal Crossing.
Yes! Oh my god, why did they ever remove that?
Right? And I'm pretty sure there was one that you could only get if you had your save on the Animal Crossing memory card.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there was like an exclusive one that you could get. Perfect game. No nodes. And the progression of paying off your house and like seeing the outside get bigger and get all the new rooms, and then eventually just like a fucking gold statue of yourself by the train station if you've spent enough money on your house.
Yeah.
And setting up your Geroid with items that you could sell to other players if they were other people in your town, or if they were people who came to visit, they could buy stuff from your Geroid.
And you could do like messages to them,
Yeah,
and
like a little greeting, because they didn't have proper multiplayer, but they did what they could.
Okay, so like taking it forward to New Horizons, the best feature of New Horizons is that you could write letters to your friends and send them through Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Because like I know I could just text my buddy, but like I want to send him a little letter on a cute little stationery and give him a little hat, you know?
Yeah, like I want to mail you a bag with 100 bells in it and just send you a letter that says bitch. Nintendo won't let me do it, but I'll...
Oh, they will.
Oh, do they let you say bitch?
I think they do. They might.
They might.
I don't know.
Otherwise, I can code the message.
And just draw it in cursive.
True.
Okay, I love that the Switch still has a touch screen, by the way. And I told myself I was gonna draw a Splatfest post for every Splatfest, and then I immediately fucked it up and I didn't do it. I didn't know what to draw for Team Sweet, and I didn't know what to draw for White Chocolate.
Yeah, that's fair. One of the things I will forever miss about the Wii U was it called Miiverse? They had their own like social media on the Wii U.
Yeah, Miiverse. They had it on the 3DS too.
Yeah, so one of the things that I always loved was specifically in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, they had a Miiverse stage.
Yeah.
And there were you could make posts and tag like specific characters. So like if you were playing Donkey Kong versus Wii Fit Trainer, it would pull Miiverse posts where people had tagged them with Donkey Kong and Wii Fit Trainer. Except some of it was the weirdest shit that did not get filtered. Also, apparently a hydrate for Loon.
Hydrate for me. Hang on. I actually need to refill my drink. Hold on. I will be right back.
All right. No, the Miiverse was so cursed in the best of ways. I'm trying to think of some other... Splatoon has always been a good source of weird Miiverse posts.
There are a lot of things from like the we're gonna have a stylus era of Nintendo that I really miss. I also miss Swap Note.
True. I remember just sitting in Pic-to-Chat with my friends. Like, we would be sitting beside each other on a car ride, and rather than talking to each other, we'd just be in stupid Pic-to-Chat, like drawing dumb pictures back and forth. That and like the other road trip activity when we had DSs was the new Super Mario Bros. Versus mode.
Oh my god.
Also Luigi's Casino, also from New Super Mario Bros. Which was a weird collection of games to have in like a side-scroller Mario game.
Yeah.
Like, here's your 2D side-scroller with a full, like, 8 worlds. Here's your versus mode doing that side-scroller game. And then here's a shit ton of mini games, and then included in those mini games, here's like 5 mini games that are specifically like you're playing blackjack against Luigi, or like they just had the Luigi's Casino theme was a banger, and Luigi in his weird little tux.
I feel like we need that as an alt costume in Smash.
Yeah. I hope so. The Super Mario Brothers movie is clearly starting off with them being plumbers. I hope by the end of it, Luigi's running a casino.
Oh my god,
That's an
yes.
absolute like pipe dream. It's never gonna happen. Also, but
This either that or I hope that they reference EGAD.
True. Imagine if the post-credit scene of the Super Mario Brothers movie is Luigi opening up the mailbox and seeing a flyer for having won a mansion.
Oh my god.
I would pay like 5 times normal ticket price to watch a fully realized Luigi's Mansion movie with Charlie Day Luigi.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, so Nedge, sorry, I'm just catching up on your messages now. Filling in the PictoChat box with just like drawing every pixel black. I'm 100% with you on that. You accidentally stole a friend's copy of Pokemon SoulSilver. I hope you gave it back.
Oh, dude. Somebody on purpose stole my copy of Sapphire.
Bastard. Hunt him
Yeah.
down.
I've never forgiven him.
Good. You shouldn't.
And the thing was it was like premeditated.
Ooh.
Like I was at a birthday party with a bunch of people, and I was not a very like socially apt child, but they all had DSs and we're busting out Pokemon, and we're all like battling each other, and I came in with my like special interest fucking copy of Sapphire where I had poured my heart and soul and fucking decimated these kids, and I was like, I'm sorry, like I can get a weaker part, and they were like, no, don't patronize me. But later, one of the kids that I thought I had gotten along with really well at the party wanted to come over to my house, and so I was like, sure. And then after he left, I couldn't find my copy of Sapphire.
Bastard.
And I tried to call him to be like, hey, do you know what happened? And he said no, and then I couldn't contact him again.
Now, okay,
I
so
never saw him again.
I'm not normally one to advocate for breaking someone's all 10 fingers, but I think I can make an exception.
I wish that I could give you a name or a face, but
I already have both of those, thank you. Also, Toast, enjoy your lurk. Thanks for hanging around. Ned, you still have it. Are there any good Pokemon on it?
God, like I had also named every Pokemon I had caught on that copy of Sapphire.
That makes the
and
loss
like
hurt even more.
Yeah. Like it was my baby.
Bring back Teeny Sven. The DS would keep crashing when you tried. Oh no.
So I now don't let people come over to my house. No, this I think is the root of why I'm like weirdly possessive with my things.
That's honestly, that's fair. I get it.
Which kind of sucks because I don't think it makes me very pleasant to be around, but
You just got to give them your tragic backstory. They'll understand. It's like where I use my own memory card for anything GameCube related, and I have a second one for if anybody else wants to save of something.
God. Fair.
Builds off of past trauma. Man, I do want to give Magical Melody another shot though. I want to be able to give it a proper shot and get back into the game for good.
Hell yeah.
Because I get such a good game. Everybody's cute.
Everybody is cute. I genuinely don't know who I would pursue in Magical Melody. I had a hard time deciding. I had relatively uncultured taste back when I originally played it, so I ended up going for the woodcutter boy Kurt.
Fair.
It's a very vanilla choice.
I feel like I remember going for, I think there are 2 pink-haired girls, and I don't remember which one I went for, but it was one of them.
Yeah.
That's as far as I've been able to narrow it down in my memory.
Hang on, I'm gonna look up Magical Melody bachelors and bachelorettes. And I need to give my updated takes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm not going to be able to like agree or disagree with any of them because I won't be able to see them.
That's fair.
Trying to think of other games I've played that have had like romance options. Really, the majority of it has been Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, I will be honest.
That's fair. You don't know what this means, but if anybody, I did say if we have any Dragon Age enjoyers in chat, if anybody is also a Dragon Age Inquisition enjoyer, when I first played, I had the blessing and curse of romancing Solus first. So I had no story spoilers. I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. And honestly, great choice. I accidentally picked the most plot relevant one, but I cannot say more because I want Damien to play the Dragon Ages.
Yes, I will be playing them.
I will say it was a very difficult choice between Solus and Iron Bull. And it came down to ultimately, like, when I play through the Dragon Age games, I really like to, like, kind of play it like D&D, where, like, I decide, like, what my character's personality is, and I'm like, you know, what does this person's interest look like when aligned with their party? Iron Bull is the character that Loon would romance. But the character that my OC that I was role-playing as was definitely Solus. Like, I just felt like that just clicked, you know?
I always find that for me, like, even if I'm trying to like roleplay a character, the romance options usually end up just leaning towards what I would pick.
I agree there, like, for me there is some bias. But I kind of try to, I don't know, I kind of try to think about it in terms of, like, I don't know. I try to stamp out the bias a little bit.
I could never.
I mean, I would say I could never, but somehow I resisted the Iron Ball. And look, when you see that man, you're gonna be like, how?
I'll understand what a feat it was.
Yeah, for me specifically.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now, I will say there have been exceptions. I rolled into Dragon Age Origins, and I was all set to roleplay, and then I saw Zevran, and I was like, "Nah, fuck this. We're gonna take an unexpected veer into this romance." I'll write up how it happened in post, you know?
Yeah. Love that.
Though I ended up like in my many hours of grinding levels and trying to and idly thinking about how the interactions would go. I did headcanon a lot of really cute ass shit. It's fair, that's fair.
It was a self-discovery journey that started and ended with Iron Bull.
I've had a lot of people tell me similar stories with BioWare games. Like a lot of people in who played Mass Effect were like, I just kind of wanted to romance somebody in Mass Effect 1, but Caden was very, very white bread, and then I was like, well, I guess Liara is my other option. And then eventually was like, oh, she's actually the best.
Luigi, please.
I love Liara, but I'm a Garrus stan. He wasn't romanceable in Mass Effect 1, but it's because you have to die to get to heaven.
That was powerful.
He's a good lad. I like him very much. I also liked that, and when I played through Mass Effect, like the morality system is very simple. It's Paragon and Renegade,
Yeah.
and you know your actions generally lean towards one or the other. But my Shepard, I was very dedicated to play in a very specific way. I wanted her to be someone who, on the big plot points, she was a good person and chose the Paragon things. But in dialogue, she was a bitch. She was so mean to everyone. Like,
Perfect.
But I liked that like a lot of the romances in Mass Effect 1, they couldn't handle her. And like the thing was Garrus wasn't necessarily handling her, but Garrus was embracing the chaos. And I was kind of like, okay, I know how this is gonna roll.
Oh no.
I feel like, okay, I wish romance was possible in Guild Wars, but making romance work in an MMO that isn't SWTOR is difficult. Because at least in SWTOR, like you have like your own distinct party that is like kind of kept to yourself. Like these are my Blorbos. I can romance this one, you know? But I think Guild Wars is a little more like these characters all kind of belong to the world, but the characters are delicious.
Very specific word choice. We need romance in every game. Give me romance in Destiny. I want to flirt with Zavala.
Yo, yes. Yo, but like I would have had a very short-lived fling with Rasputin.
Bring me Savathun.
Oh my god, yo. Same.
Lunan Keitel, when?
That's my wife. Just her doing cool shit and me standing in the background going, what?
Screaming.
Yeah. Oh.
Loon on top of the land tank. True. I feel like any date with Kaido would involve like ritual combat.
Oh, absolutely. How would they? Yeah, how would they make this romance mechanic work in Destiny? Well, you just have a combat mission.
Yeah, you fight.
Have stick some banter dialogue on top of it. Bish bash bosh. There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I get a little smooch on the head when I'm done. You know, maybe not.
Depends how well you do, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on my kill count.
True. Date nightfall. I mean, they literally had like the Valentine's Day Crucible event. That unfortunately didn't run this year, but what was that called? I don't remember.
Wait a minute. Valentine's Day Crucible event.
Yeah, it was like 2v2 matches, I'm pretty sure. And you could get there was some
If I can't find a partner, will Shax be mine?
Yeah, but the helmet stays on.
Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm trying to remember what it was called now. Crimson Days. That's what it was. But yeah, there was it was like 2v2 Crucible mode, I'm pretty sure, and one of the unique drops from it was like a bow.
Oh hell yeah.
I guess it was like Cupid's bow, I guess.
If it's not obnoxiously pink, what's the point?
Right? My dad, but with navy blue and Nerf orange.
I'm still mad at myself. When we were loading into the first mission, I was really thinking about putting that shader
man,
on.
If you'd done it, I would have lost my shit. Excuse you. Windows file browser? Nobody asked for you. On my legitimate 3DS.
Wow, incredible.
Weird that Nintendo got Windows installed on those things, and they just pop up Windows in the middle of games.
Yeah.
Weird little design quirk.
So I hate it when I hit the Windows key in the middle of a competitive.
I'm out here picking my move, and suddenly I'm in the Windows file browser. Clippy pops up in the corner. You look like you're trying to select a super effective move.
Would you like help?
I miss Clippy.
Dude, I want to bring back Clippy. If I ever learn how to code.
Clippy VTuber when? I'm trying to think of what like the weirdest things to make into VTubers would be.
People have done like potatoes and shit like that, where like it's just like a potato with a face.
Love it.
Trying to think of like
Just a Glock.
this
It doesn't have a face.
tuber. It like wiggles when they talk. Alternatively, it's a really good PNG tuber concept. A question mark? Love that.
Toilet roll.
So my cousin is someone who occasionally guests on my streams, and he wants to be just a photorealistic crawdad.
Makes sense. I love it. Because what else are you gonna do?
What I want to do is I want to get collections of like crawdads in different poses that imply different emotions, like, and be able to hotkey them.
Love that. I know they very briefly had Lindsay Jones from Rooster Teeth be Ruby as a VTuber for a little bit.
Yo.
I don't know if that's still a thing that's happening, but yeah, I'd say we're probably approaching 12.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We should like figure out how to set a counter, but that
I feel
is
like
very involved.
I feel like that ship has sailed a long time ago.
Yeah.
If I'd thought about it before, I could have set one up pretty quickly, but at this point, there's really not a point.
Yeah, that's fair.
We could probably math it out if we time how long an average loop takes me and figure out how long these 3 streams have been. We can get an estimate of how many it's been. Man, he's got to show up eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
It'd be really funny if after, what, a cumulative, like, 10 or 11 hours of this, he just couldn't possibly roll shiny in the way that we're doing it again.
No, like, I've seen people do shiny hunting like this.
I don't know, man. I'm in denial phase right now.
Maybe it's impossible.
Maybe it is.
Maybe this is all a fool's errand.
It was worth a shot.
No, hold on. Remember what I told you at the beginning of this shiny hunt? You're gonna slip into denial, and then you gotta let that marinate for a little bit. We've hit the Goldilocks zone.
Loon, I was there by the end of the first stream. We've been marinating.
Well, I mean,
how's everyone doing today? I am alive.
Alive and not crying.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yet.
Yeah, the night's still young, you know?
Yep.
Maybe I'll watch a particularly sad video on YouTube.
I need to find that dog meme. What are the ones with the really long snouts called?
Borzoi?
Yes! Didn't I do it for you? Oh my god. So I want to do that with you, but I don't know if I can handle the chaos. Once I finish Pantheons, maybe we should do Hollow Knight multiplayer.
Oh goodness.
I just need to get Grimchild as fast as possible.
Get the boy.
Yeah, that's my personal goal.
Yeah, we need God Emperor Petruvius.
I'm sorry, whomst?
Oh, when I played Hollow Knight and we acquired the Grimchild, I named him Petruvius. And as he became stronger, and he reached his final form, he became God Emperor Petruvius, and we have an emote of him.
Oh my god, I named mine Ace. As in Grim Ace.
Nice. Love it. But yes, there's God Emperor Petruvius.
I love him.
He's just a little guy.
Do you think him and Georgina are friends?
Almost definitely.
They're both vaguely butterfly shaped.
I think Georgina's less vaguely butterfly shaped, I will be honest. I feel like she's more explicitly.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I didn't want to make Petruvius feel left out, you know?
That's fine. He's got his own charms.
That's true. You can rain death upon my foes.
They're like two sides of the
It
same
was
coin.
fucking nuts, Rye. I felt so inadequate. I have to get fucking good.
Big mood.
God, but I'm done with fighting Sly. At least until the Pantheon.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'm gonna have to get good at fighting Sly again. Ugh.
I can tell how excited you are for that.
Oh God. And Markoth. No.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I feel immense danger imminently. This candle
Are we,
has
are we running low on candle?
no. It's hit the point where you know how if you burn a candle, you have to let it burn like long enough for it to melt the wax to the edges,
Yeah.
so that you don't get those rings. It has reached the edges.
Congratulations.
I now have a pretty candle when I am done with it.
You're welcome. I made sure that we didn't get him too soon.
All right, Lugia, you've helped me out. Now it's time to stop.
It's time to come on home.
Damn it.
It's alright. We told him that while we were already loaded in. He heard us this time, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine.
No.
It's fine.
Fine.
I'll
It's
just-
gonna be this one.
Listen. What if we show him what awaits him if he doesn't cooperate?
What awaits him if he doesn't? Oh, I see. Munch.
Maggie leveled up. Alright. Now that you know.
I like that there's just no fanfare. There's just no Lugia there.
He's just gone. He didn't seem to learn his lesson. Some never do. So I think what I'm learning from this is I am going to stick it out and get Lugia, but I don't think I'm going to shiny hunt anything else on stream.
I will say, I actually think you would have a better time with eggs.
Like, yo, thank you for the follow.
Oh my
Probe.
god.
It's good to have
We're
you
so
here.
close.
We are so close. We're 148 of 150 to get the good ending of Buddy Sim.
Oh my god.
Loon is screaming internally.
I want him to play this so bad.
Come on, buddy. Come on home. I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna fist fight a bird. Even though I know fighting's not very effective.
God.
Come on, man. I've been keeping you company for 3 weeks worth of Monday streams now.
Genuinely, we do not have to get him.
Loon, sunk cost fallacy. That's all I'm going to say as a counter argument.
Okay. I feel that whenever you say that he's in an emulator and you're gonna delete him when you're done.
His life means nothing to me. It's the principle of the thing.
God, me just sitting here like, no.
He will come home, and then he will sit in the void for eternity. But we've started this journey. Damn it, we're gonna finish it. And if he knows what's good for him, he won't make me wait too much longer.
I am gonna note, you said you wanted to end at 10.
Yes, so we've got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I figured I would just kind of give the heads up that we're gonna wrap it up soonish.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. Yeah, we're calling it early tonight. But if we don't get him in the next 10 minutes, we will be back for more next Monday.
I will try to come prepared with more topics because I felt like I was a little bit dry this week.
That's all good. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Are we rating anybody? I'm gonna have to see who's online and see if, because I can look now. Sabrina's on, but I have a feeling she's going to be done soonish because we're getting into the evening, and she usually doesn't stream too late. But otherwise, I don't think I have anything lined up.
I mean, if you have a request,
Yeah.
by all means.
Cozy Little Bean.
That's a great name.
Already love it. I hope they are a bean tuber.
Just generally bean shaped.
Yeah.
I'm betting perhaps like cafe themed, like coffee bean.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that.
I do not know if that is what they are, but figure I may as well put my guess out.
Yeah. It's worth a shot.
Someone I've been watching a little bit recently, I have not had the chance to raid them after one of my own streams because I don't think our schedules line up. But her name is Lil Appleseed, and she's a goblin VTuber.
Oh, I love that.
And I just, that concept, oh, I picked the wrong vocation, man. I chose too soon. I should have been a goblin.
Little gobtuber.
Oh, gobtuber. I honest to God, I considered trying to go for like a Dragonborn or Koboldy deal, but I was like, that is really hard to animate.
Honest to gob.
Honest to gob. Goober.
I'm also a goober.
Okay. I don't know if I'm ever gonna drag Zix down the VTubing hole, but if I do, I hope that he will make a goblin Sona, because that man.
Hold on, Loon. If you made a ride sharing service, but instead of like cars or whatever, that you got around in gelatinous cubes, would it be goober?
I hate you.
That's the only one that comes to mind right now. Slime girl taxi service is not a sequence of words that I expected in the chat tonight.
There's another, I suppose, if you I can't say it.
Do it, coward.
If you did like an Uber Eats style deal in which you could have the gelatinous cubes bring you various goods and services from, say, restaurants or pharmacies. It could be Luber.
Right.
I mean,
that could be true too.
I would Uber Eats a gelatinous cube. I would die.
Death by snoo snoo.
But what a hell of a way to go.
Really? Yeah. What do you think they taste like?
Well, okay. Do you want an honest answer, or do you want what I'm hoping for?
Yes.
What I'm hoping for is that it's like Jell-O.
All right.
What is probably actually the case is because they like consume like various biomaterials and whatnot, and like gelatin in the first place is like bone, basically. It's probably more meat-like.
Have I sent you the post asking about what happens if you, because Jell-O is made of animal products. If you try to raise dead on it.
Can I animate Gummy Bear?
My favorite spell, animate Gummy Bear. There was something. Hold on, I'm gonna scroll up in a conversation. Hold on. A sucromancer.
God, wonderful.
I'm scrolling through my messages for a picture a friend sent me that asks an important question. If I cast Resurrection on an enemy's leather armor, would a cow form around him if the soul is willing?
Holy shit.
Imagine you're fighting a guy, and then suddenly you're in a cow.
Also, like, that's a really tall order to ask. Like, hey, would you like to be brought back to life? You'll have a dude inside you.
Loon, would you not say yes to that?
Listen, not like that. It may surprise you to know that I'm not into vor.
Sorry, I feel like that on its own could be something for the quotes list. Would you like to come back to life? You'll have a dude inside you.
Okay, hold on. End quote.
I don't know, Rye. I don't know, man.
Was it me who said it?
Yeah, it was you.
Okay, I will attribute myself accordingly.
Thank you. Thank you. What a sequence of words that came out of your mouth. Out of all the sentences I've ever heard, that was definitely one of them.
And when they ask me what that mouth do, I say many things. Things you've never heard before.
Accursed things. Unspeakable horrors. But also sometimes some pretty good jokes.
Oh no, they're speakable. Most of them
are.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that's a... Yeah, alright.
Speakable horrors.
I want to make that like a semi-eldritch being in one of my D&D campaigns.
just a little bit eldritch.
Yeah, like he enacts speakable horrors on the masses. He's fathomable. All right, I'm gonna do 3 more attempts and then we're out of here. Going to go see a bean. Greg the Eldritch Eyesore. Perfect. Now wait. If you ran an online streaming service, hold on. I'm gonna pause the game because we're done. We got our 3 more attempts and they did not succeed. So if you started an online streaming service,
Yeah.
in which the entirety of the catalog was about eldritch beings, would you call it Cthulhu?
Oh my fucking god. I just took psychic damage.
I have no regrets.
God, no regrets.
No regrets. All right. This has been great fun. Thank you guys for having me. Let me where is Cozy Little Bean?
I don't know what the hell my stream schedule is going to be this week. I have been struggling to figure it out. But I will be back tomorrow with Dark Souls with Zix at my usual time of 5 EST.
Yes.
Just a little shout out for me.
Hell yeah.
From me. As a treat.
Everybody go see Loon if you don't already. Go follow. She is shaped like a friend. And we love her. Alright, but for now, we're all going to see Cozy Little Bean. Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been fun. I'm going to try to be back tomorrow to hopefully finish God of War. We're pretty close. But yes, this is good. Thank you guys. Have a good night. See you later.
Noot noot.